Hey y'all, what's going on YouTube channel? Stars down again. Y'all go hard or go home channel around this joker. Alright y'all, so this morning I'm gonna talk about what broke looks like in America. Okay. The reason why I'm doing this is because a guy made a comment to me in response to a conversation I was having about the Ebony K. Williams conversation that was going on about her and her not wanting to date the bus driver and stuff like that. So guys started asking me, well, what does broke look like to you? What do you think broke is? Now the dude removed his doggone comments from my thing when I went and I told him, because I brought the information like that. I'm going to start bringing more information sometimes, because I know I'll be smoking and stuff. I'm finna smoke when I'm talking about this too. But people try to say that discredits me, and it does, I guess. But here's the deal. I'm finna go to the NASDAQ site. If you don't know what NASDAQ is, that's the stock bond people, all that stuff. They're part of like Forbes and all that stuff. And we're going to find out what broke looks like in America. Okay? I'm going to go to the smart people and let them tell you. So this is what we're about to do. I'm going to get ready to fire up this blunt, but we're going to move over here to this thing first. And I want especially, we'll talk about like, subscribe, share at the end. Especially the black women. If you're a black woman and you're watching this, you need to be paying attention. Women need to be paying attention in general, because when you're dating, guys' money counts. Okay? I'm starting to understand, especially with this black manosphere shit, that guys don't want their money to count because most of them are fucking broke. That's what we're about to find out about that right now. All right? So take that away from the video. Pay attention. We'll talk about the other stuff in the end. All right? Here we go. I'm going over to the NASDAQ site, okay? And we're gonna go over here and we're gonna look at this right here real quick before we click on it. All right? Because they're gonna go over this in the thing now in the article. Am I broke? According to this study, yes. It's on the NASDAQ site. Okay. In a survey conducted in 2019, 86% of Americans said they were either broke or had been in the past. According to 28% of millennials, overspending on food led them to the point. In general, people consider having only $878 available either in cash or in a bank account to mean they were bankrupt. If your ass got less than $1,000, you're broke. And that's pretty much in your hand. And if you don't got it in the bank, you're definitely broke. So we're going to go over here and we're going to see what the rest of they're going to talk about. I'm going to click on that right there. Now here we go at the article. All right. So you see they got those stocks and stuff going up at the top. So we're going to go down here and we're going to read a little bit of this. All right. And am I broke? A lot of guys in America is broke, according to this study, ladies. I'm getting tired of explaining this junk to men. I'm going to explain this junk to everybody else now because they're at one like they don't know what's going on. All right. This is March 29th, 2023. All right. That's recent because right now it's only May. So it's about a month or two ago. From the 17th century, the term broke referred to being without money. That's been since the 17th century. They're telling you in this on this site. All right. More specifically, the word derives from the old sense of impoverished, which signifies helplessness, shame, or embarrassment. People are not born broke, but they make decisions based on their actions. But they make decisions based on the action, not a result of circumstances. Okay, so your brokenness is you're not born. You know what I'm saying? You're not born broke, but you can make yourself be that way. To put it another way, it's a thing that happens to you. You go broke, busted, or even bankrupt. The rupt comes from an Italian word for broken. Okay, bank broken, bankrupt. Okay, there it goes. Your bank is broke. They just telling you right there. They just gave you the doggone definition. Okay, and I'm sorry about the smoker guy, but I got to. You shouldn't have to get on this doggone internet and explain to people in America what a fit broke is. Okay, and I get asked that question, so I'm sorry. I got to be high for that. My bad. All right. Despite the fact that the phrase "this," despite the fact that the phrase "this is why I'm broke" has been used in colloquial speech and writing for centuries, it emerged as a meme in late 1990s and early 2000s in online forums. Okay. Today, the phrase is used humorously when describing the reasons why people are in debt. However, being broke is not synonymous with being poor. Okay, so you don't have to be poor to be broke. That's what I keep getting. Understand what they're saying? People try to make it such a bad thing. And then you can be rich and be broke. Okay? So y'all got to understand that too. All right? Nor does it mean you don't have any money. All right? Going broke means you lost money you once had. That's what it means. Okay? Whereas being poor means that you never had money to begin with. Okay? So broke is different. Okay? You're getting money from your job. You're getting money from this and that. But you keep losing all the money. That's broke. Okay? Poor means you ain't got nothing coming in. So in America, what does it mean to be broke? Okay? In a survey conducted in 2019, 86% of Americans said that they were either broke or had been in the past. Okay? And according to 28% of millennials, overspending on food is what led them to the point. Okay? So this is what they're getting down to. $878, the average amount of money people that's available in cash or a bank account would consider broke. All right? About $878. And then they got it here by gender. Women, if you only got about $900 in the bank, you're broke. It's the same for men. It's real close. It's only like, that's exactly $60 less. 902-842, that's exactly $60 less. So you can go ahead and say it about men too. Even though I know from the comments and the stuff I be getting from some of these men, they're going to be trying, whatever, guys. Y'all should have $1,000 you can throw away right now. Every man should be able to go throw away $1,000 right the freak right now. They got it by generation. 1981, 1997. 1965 to 1980. And then they got the baby boomers. It's still going to stay around $1,000. In general, people consider having only $878 available either in the cash or a bank account to mean they were bankrupt. So if you only got about $1,000 available, whether it's at the bank or not, or it's in your hand, if you down to your last $1,000, you probably broke. Although it may not seem like much, it represents 71.3% of the national average rent. Since 28% of your income should not be spent on housing, many people's $878 quickly disappears. Because here's the deal. What they're telling you here is that only so much of your money should be spent on your house or your place where you're staying at. And it shouldn't be nowhere near half. Most people are spending half of their check or more on their freaking rent. Or they weigh more than 28%, like 30 or 40%. In terms of being broke, there's a gender issue as well. There are actually different reasons why men and women go broke. It may be due to a change in jobs or too much drinking on the part of men, okay? Women, on the other hand, are in debt because they spent too much money on food or had to wait for their partner to get paid, all right? It is also important to consider the generational differences. Generation X's are most likely to be dependent on their partner's salaries, while millennials spend too much on food, and baby boomers are too generous. They went broke by spending on others. So that's crazy too. Okay, now obviously this survey was before the devastating global pandemic, and things have probably gotten even worse. Okay, so now they're telling you, we did this survey before the doggone pandemic. That was then. Okay, if you didn't have but $1,000 then, you probably was bad off. Now, it's probably worse. According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, almost a quarter of consumers, 24%, do not have an emergency savings account, while 39% have less than a month's worth of income saved for emergency. It's almost 50% of freaking people, y'all, 39%. And 37% have a minimum of a month's worth, which you really need about 6 to 7 months worth. In addition, households have been burdened by high inflation in 2022. A Lending Club report found 64%, over half of Americans live paycheck to paycheck as of December 2022. up from 61% a year earlier. So it was 61% the year earlier. So they added something into it, and it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And that's over half of America right there. So I got people asking me what does broke look like. I don't understand why when everybody should know. Additionally, the number of six-figure earners who feel stretched too thin has risen from 40% to 42% a year ago to more than half. See, you don't have to be what people consider poor. People start trying to consider poor because you got a job or you just make a certain money. No, you got six-figure earners that can get in this junk too if they're not keeping their money. Because the real deal about broke is not you not making the money or you not getting money. It's you don't have any money saved back. The money that you was getting, you could not keep. That's what broke means. Okay. The effects of inflation are eating into every American's wallet. And as the Fed's efforts to curb inflation drive up the cost of debt, we are seeing near record numbers of Americans living paycheck to a paycheck. Okay? That's Lending Club's financial advisor. I don't know what that name is, a nudge, there you are, something like that. They told that to CNBC. Well, why am I broke? External factors such as COVID-19 or inflation can hurt your finances, all right? You may be self-sabotaging your financial futures. Consequently, this could lead to a lifetime of financial hardship, guys. Okay? That's why I'm telling ladies to pay attention to this. Because you got guys walking around like they don't know what broke is. And if you don't know, you ain't going to do nothing about it. And when you don't do nothing about it, you're going to keep it. And if you keep being broke, it's going to lead to a lifetime of financial hardship. And ladies, you don't need that with no mate. And a man shouldn't want to be in the first place. The following are 10 reasons why people are broke. To avoid being like most people, you simply need to avoid these financial mistakes. They got 10 reasons. You don't have clearly defined financial goals, okay? You don't. A financial goal serves as the basis of all your financial decisions. By setting financial goals, you guide your financial decisions in the future. It gives you a sense of purpose and a sense of direction. Furthermore, you will lack accountability in your financial life without them. So if you don't have the goals, you're not going to hold yourself accountable in your financial life, okay? Some examples of these goals would be saving enough money for a family vacation during the holidays, getting out of credit debt, saving up for a down payment on a house, building an emergency fund that will cover 3 months of expenses. So 3 months of expenses, man, y'all, that means that you need enough money in the bank that if you went broke, right, if you didn't have no money coming in, you could pay your bills for 3 months. And that ain't me saying it. That's the money people. So I know I'm smoking and drinking a beer too, but it's the truth. To avoid being broke, you should set financial goals as soon as possible. Ideally, you should set 2 habit goals and 2 achievement goals. Here's what they are if you don't know. Goals that have an endpoint are achievement goals, okay? I'm trying to get to this point. Almost always, they relate to a specific dollar amount. There's always a finish line to these goals. Whether you want to save $6,000, pay off all your debt, or save for a down payment on a car, all right? Habit goals, however, do not have an end date. Consistency is the goal since they are ongoing, okay? Investing 15% of every paycheck is an example of a habit goal. So that's like, okay, 15%. So if I make $1,000, 10% of that is freaking $100. So maybe about like $150 or something like that. I take that every month and I invest it. That would be a habit goal, okay? The difficulty of maintaining habit goals lies in their lack of excitement. By pairing them with achievement goals, you can overcome this problem. In this case, if you set an achievement of investing $5,500 in a Roth IRA this year, you might also set a habit goal of investing at least 20% of my income in retirement. Habits are ongoing, but they complement achievement goals, okay? Okay, you're living beyond your means. That's the second one. This is one for most people. This is one for most people. It's also possible to end up broke simply because of math. In other words, you spend more than you earn. All right? You can find yourself in this position for any number of reasons. Perhaps you are spending too much to keep up with friends or buying necessary things. You may also be prone to impulsive purchases instead of planning and being safe and saving ahead. Okay, now what can you do to fix this? Get a bigger picture of your monthly cash flow, what money is coming in and going out after taxes. Figure out how much you net from each paycheck, and then assess your expenses and find out what you can cut back at if you're overspending. I talk about this in my Poor People's Finance videos. Okay, I call it meticulous money management. You're overpaying for fixed expenses. Any budget can be challenged by recurring expenses. After all, you'll be haunted by these repeating costs if you pay too much. So what are the recurring expenses? Is your rent, car payment, phone bill, that kind of stuff. Other expenses are like entertainment, subscriptions, or gym memberships, and stuff that could be eliminated. Or you can find a cheaper one. Okay? I'm not, it's people that got less money than me that have iPhones and pay the bill and Apple phone bills, and I know that jump be high. Me, I got a Walmart phone. I pay $45 a month. And every now and again, I go ahead and just grab the whole card for the year. And I don't have to pay that. So I put that money back in my pocket every time. But everybody ain't going to do that. What can be done? Identify recurring expenses on your account statements and consider ways to lower them. I just got done talking about that. There may be memberships or subscriptions you don't need, or you would not miss them if you cancel them. Ask your cable company or phone company for discounts. You may be able to find cheaper car insurance rates, stuff like that if you shop around. To make life easier, you could download a tool like Trim. It'll tell you something, as well as negotiate your cable, internet, and phone bills. It locates and cancels unused subscriptions. So this Trim thing, it's something I guess it helps. It's like an app or something that helps with your finances, stuff like that. So, the way you think about money is wrong. If you want to be successful in life and finances, you need to have the right mindset. Your perspective will prevent you from succeeding if you are always telling yourself that you are broke. What you think determines what you do. You need to believe you can succeed, make up your mind to work hard, and learn how to motivate and inspire yourself. To help fix your broken mindset, we recommend that you try the following advice from Jeff Rose at Good Financial Sense. Okay, they got a thing right here where you can look into that if you want to be going to that site and check it out. Okay, and then they got make every day count by living a purpose-driven life. Work with what you have, live within your means. Don't be afraid to invest. Keep your goals. See, all this stuff right here, it's like, it's stuff that people could be doing, but instead they're walking around talking about what's broke, or that's how you define broke. No, this is how the whole country is. All right, your finances are in disarray. Another common problem is disorganized finances, which can be expensive. For example, you can easily incur overdraft and bounce check fees if you lose track of your bank account balances. Meticulous money management. You got to be every dime. You got to know where it's going. Missed payments or late fees can result from mixing up due dates for bills. Your checking account might even be charged monthly fees if you forget about it or don't use it. Now the good news is you can get your financial house in order without too much difficulty. Now to begin with that, you'll organize and manage all of your accounts and bills. Set up your bank's mobile app for ease of money management so you can access it whenever you need to or wherever you are. And it might also be a good idea to use a budget app such as Mint. I don't know about Mint. Okay, so if you want to avoid tracking due date bills or due dates for bills and debts, you can set up an auto pay. You don't want to track this junk yourself. So adding low balance alerts to your checking account would also be helpful. So they're telling you a lot of ways here to fix this stuff, okay? Borrowing money to buy depreciating assets, okay? People buying cars are bad about this. Cars is one of them, okay? In the fourth quarter of 2021, hey Derek, the average household's credit card balance was like $9,000, okay? The amount of debt added by consumers in 22 was the highest in history, totaling $180 billion, all right? So they're going to name a couple of things here, all right? that they're showing you. The average credit card debt per household, about 10 G's. All right. Total credit card debt I think that's in the billions. So I mean, like, credit card debt is bad. You got credit card debt, buying cars, that kind of stuff, all right? Your emergency savings are non-existent, okay? So you don't have no emergency savings, all right? Life is full of unexpected expenses, from replacing a flat tire to visiting an urgent care center. In the event of unavoidable expenses, you could be forced to drain your bank account without an emergency fund. So see, and that's what I was telling the one guy. A lot of families in America, that one doggone thing is gonna drain the bank account. $500. Hey, the car needs 4 tires. $500, we broke again. Mm-hmm. It is necessary. Look, guys. The solution is pretty obvious. Make sure you have an emergency fund to cover these expenses without having to borrow money or stress out. If you keep a buffer, you'll be able to bounce back faster from these small setbacks and keep yourself from going back bankrupt, okay? Now consider the case where you avoid spending more money once your bank account balance reaches 400 or less. It would be better if you raise that floor to $800 instead to give yourself more flexibility. Like, you need to have about $1,000 in the bank. You have about $1,000 because if something happens, you see what I'm saying? You set up small automatic saving transfers to build up the savings. You should keep saving until you have enough money, enough emergency savings to cover any major setbacks such as losing your job. So, you know what I'm saying? They're talking that junk. And it is necessary for you to earn more money. You might not be broke because of what you spend, but because of what you earn. Reducing costs is important, but there are limits to how much you can cut. You may also find that your living costs rise faster than your income. So in the long run, living paycheck to paycheck can make it difficult to save money and get ahead financially, especially if you're underpaid, okay? So you got to understand this too. We talk about this in Poor People's Finance, okay? To improve this situation, brainstorm ways to boost your income. In some cases, hourly employees may request to work overtime or cover extra shifts. As an alternative to your regular job, you can also work part-time, start a side hustle, find ways to earn a passive income. Okay. Number 9, all right. You don't invest money. Let's start by saying saving money alone won't make you wealthy, all right? And this is where a lot of people get the problem at. They want to save money, try to save it to the point, but it just doesn't work that way. The math is against them, and that's the problem with it, all right? Have you ever wondered if there's a difference between broke people and rich people? Okay, the poor person pays interest, whereas a wealthy person earns interest. Okay, there's a difference in them two. All right, you need to do 2 things they're saying, and if you want to avoid being broke, keep your debt low and invest your money. By doing so, you won't have to pay interest. Instead, you'll earn it. Okay, they got some tips for if you're a first-time investor right here. You know what I'm saying? Make a good plan. Don't do it without doing research. I mean, there's a lot of stuff right here. I'm not gonna go over those, okay? Number 2, you're gripped by fear. All right, fear of failure keeps many people in bad financial situations. Okay, those do not want to make money, make mistakes, or lose money, are afraid of the effort. Okay, so if fear is holding you back, you need to realize you cannot succeed without trying. All right, I ain't gonna go ahead and read all of that, but you know what I'm saying. You did this. It's a thing. So at the end of it, what does it mean to be broke? When you're broke, you live paycheck to paycheck without any savings. They're telling you that right there. Being broke means having a mountain of debt. The definition of broke is buying a brand new $35,000 car and having insufficient funds to cover an emergency cost of $1,000. They're telling you right there. So if you got a car, a brand new car, but if an emergency happened that costs $1,000, you can't do nothing about it. You got to make payments. That's broke. That's exactly what broke is. Most people live in this. I don't live this, so I know what it is. So I just want to give the definition of it today because I got guys talking about what is that? How to define? No, it's right here. Could I be poor or broke? Poor people's lives are shaped by poverty, and changing that takes a lot more than cutting back. People who are broke may face temporary financial hardship. However, quick solutions can help them overcome the problem. How do people become broke? The majority of people are broke because they borrow money to make large purchases they cannot afford, in addition to credit card debt. Furthermore, almost all loans are used to purchase depreciation assets such as cars, boats, RVs, etc. Okay, so most times people borrow money, they're gonna buy something that's not gonna make money or that's gonna cost money and not be worth any more money. Okay, what can you do to stop being broke? Paying off your debts faster can be achieved by making even a few extra payments each year. You'll be debt free in the long run if you make extra payments towards your debt, even though it might make your budget even tighter for right now. Okay. So that's at the end of the article right there. All right. So the thing of it is we learned a little bit today. We learned about what broke is and stuff like that. But the reason why I'm putting this video out here to ladies is like y'all gotta understand, like, hey, look, these guys is not getting it. And you cannot make it in a relationship if you don't understand what broke is or you don't know what to do about it. So this video should hopefully can help a few people. I'm gonna come back to that article and cover it again in some other videos and break it down more and tell other things about it. But what I wanted to do today was show what the definition of broke is in America because I keep getting asked what it is. So if y'all think this is good info, y'all hit like, subscribe, share. Y'all let me know what y'all think. This has been Taurus down to y'all. Go hard, go home channel. I'm out of here on this one. Peace.